Right, Seb, what's going on, bro?
Yes.
You good,
Yeah,
yeah?
not much, man. Just getting through the week, man. It's midweek, and yeah,
I know,
tomorrow's
man.
basically the Friday because yeah, no Good Friday, isn't it?
Yeah,
Got
well, you
Good
don't
Friday.
you don't shoot include Thursday, no?
No, it's because it's Good Friday, so it's technically a bank holiday, isn't it?
Oh, so you just write that one off then, yeah?
Yeah, so tomorrow's basically the Friday of the week, isn't it?
Ah, okay, fair enough.
Like work, isn't it? I don't have to work on Friday, but yeah,
Lucky for some, man. Some out here just flipping struggling anyway, but it's one of them.
yeah. But even still, it's long. Just you're just at home, like you're not seeing anyone, you're not getting interaction from people. It's times like this where you realize how you shouldn't take your job for granted, man.
Trust me, man. Now, I suppose you know what? When everyone goes back to work, everyone will be like, "Praise the Lord." They'll be staying till 5, past 5, doing all the work. You sure? You sure you don't want me to stay a little bit extra? Because everyone's just happy to stay out. Oh man, you're not gonna
Oh
take
man,
anything for granted, that's for sure, bro. But yeah, man. How you been
definitely,
anyway,
man.
though?
Yeah, just been cracking on, man. Like, been to the shop like after work. I've just been abiding by the once a day rule.
Have you though?
Uh,
Have you been abiding by the once a day rule, or have you been sneaking
all
out
right,
twice?
There's been all right. After I only go out after work. I don't go out during the day, but all right. I may go out after work and then maybe I may take another quick run to the shop at like nine,
Oh,
10 o'clock.
you're
But
risking it, boy.
yeah, the shop's at the end of my road, man. So it's not like I'm mingling with people. But obviously, yeah, I don't want to be on camera declaring I'm breaking the rules. You know what I mean?
Have you been going to the park and sitting down and chilling though?
No.
Okay, because some
I
people
just go
out
to
here
the shop.
just some people out here just
Yeah, I
living
know.
their best life in parks and stuff, you know. Seriously,
Mate,
as funny as we're laughing about it, people are just out here just kind of just chilling, like doing whatever.
mate. The motto is stay home, save lives, mate.
Do you know what I mean? The amount of times that we was probably at home at work saying, "Oh, I wish I was at home right now," you know, on Football Manager or
Yeah,
chilling out,
exactly.
and we've got the opportunity to do it, and now we're just not even taking the full advantage of it. It just makes no sense.
The thing is that even when you're working and you want to book time off work, unless you've got something to do, if it's just to have a duvet day, if you book like a week off work to do nothing, if you've got no plans, after like 3 or so days, you'll just get bored anyway.
I know that's what I'm saying. I think during the first week, those days were great. It's like, I get to wake up late, don't have to do anything, do all the things that I wanted to, watch stuff on Netflix, gone through bloody Tiger King. That's amazing, by the way. You need to watch that.
Yeah, I've heard
Um,
about it.
and then everything else. And then like after a while, it's like, okay, this is getting a bit boring now. Like I want to either go out or actually want to go and do some work because money's running low, isn't it? So,
Yeah, you know that, man.
oh boy. But yeah, have you been trying to keep up with Newcastle news? What's going on with that?
Do you know what? I've not seen any news, to be honest, since we last spoke, because I usually go on that NUFC blog website.
Yeah.
Some of those links are quite reliable. I used to like read the forums there as well, the comments.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
as of late,
I've seen the stuff that obviously the guys are putting in the chat about, you know, players that we linked with, and I think that's kind of odd, seeing as we're not playing any football at the moment, but I suppose we do have to
yeah,
plan ahead. But have you seen that link about that? Is it Soumare, the guy that
yeah, I've
was
heard
linked with
about
in
him.
January?
Yeah, I was aware we were looking at him. Was it January just gone, or was it summer?
Yeah, apparently we put like a big bid in, and he turned us down because he wanted to stay at Lille because he's only young as well.
He wanted to
But
be okay.
yeah, but apparently put in another bid for when we do get started in the next window, £40 million. Now, I'm thinking £40 million. Where have we heard that before? We put £40 million for a player, and look how he turned out for us last time. Obviously, we've done better in the French market. Defensive midfielder, 21. I don't know too much about him apart from that, but what do you reckon about that one, man?
Well, I heard he's got a big reputation. I remember when the stories on. Well, I read the story on the Sky Sports app.
Yeah.
I saw the clubs he was linked with. I think he was linked with like Arsenal, Chelsea. But you never know. It could just be a repeat of that. You know that Jean-Michel Seri guy who signed for Fulham, and Fulham paid like
Oh,
30 mil for him. Arsenal wanted him. A few other teams were interested in him. They signed him and they got relegated. So it doesn't mean he's a bad player, but sometimes these prospective French players, yeah, they deserve a chance. But when they show promise, they're linked with all these teams.
well,
Doesn't
I
necessarily
think
go.
I think the fact that he's linked with Liverpool, that just goes to show like how he's got a lot of promise. The fact that he's lived with them, I think if he comes to us, he's guaranteed first team football. It's a bit like the kind of Ginny Wijnaldum situation. I remember when we first signed, it was like, he's not going to be with us too long. He was levels above us, even though obviously we got relegated and all the rest of it. I could just tell that he's levels above.
Yeah.
So it's the fact that he could come here, spend a season or two. I mean, I even think that with Saint-Maximin, I don't think he's going to be with us for too long. No, even though he's a fan favourite, I love him. I love watching him, but let's face it, he's levels above all of us in terms of the way he plays and stuff. So I think it's one for the future that we'll look to cash in on sooner rather than later. I don't know about you, man.
Yeah, I agree. I said that as well because you can tell if he played in another team with players who obviously he would have more space because technically they may not play five at the back. There'll be more movement ahead of him. He'll have more options. He would improve his decision making, his delivery. But it's one of those situations. I can see exactly what you're saying.
Now, I know we're obviously talking about players, and obviously there's no football to watch, but there was the end of the contract situation coming up. We're now in April now, so it would have been definitely around that time where we're looking to sign someone for the next season. I'm going to run a couple of names by you and let me know what your thoughts are in terms of how likely we are to possibly get them. Don't laugh at some of them because I know there's some of them are way out of our range.
Yeah.
So the first one's Willian.
Willian.
Yeah. He's out of contract at the moment. Well, he will be come the end of the summer.
Interesting. I never thought of him. I think he could go to at least a team that can offer Europa League.
I'm saying in regards to us, though, not Europa League, us. Like, what's the chances that we could sign any of these players? Yo, you with us? Seb?
Okay. Because...
No, you cut out there for ages, mate.
Okay. Yeah, I think he'll want to stay in London, so I don't see him settling in the northeast.
Next one's Vertonghen from Tottenham.
Vertonghen, interesting one, but in terms of he would expect to be first team, so he would be replacement for either Shaw or Lejeune. So I can't see him being happy with the squad role. He'll demand to play every week, so I don't see that one happening.
Ryan Fraser from Bournemouth. That's an interesting one because I wouldn't mind him.
Yeah, Fraser's one. I thought of him as well, definitely. I'll give that a massive thumbs up.
Okay.
But I've also heard that Arsenal are linked with him.
Yeah.
However, apparently he hasn't had the best of seasons, so he may have turned off a few of his wanters. But yeah, he'll settle in.
This is one for Daz in the group. I know he likes him a lot. Adam Lallana. What do you reckon about him?
Yeah, take him. He'll get in the team. Although, for the simple fact that him and Miggy will play a similar role, I don't think either of them are adjustable to play out wide. I don't think that's their game at all. So, and obviously I've heard that Leicester are linked with him. So I think he's got other options.
And then the last one is Robbie Brady from Burnley. I think we was linked with him in the Chronicle, I believe. Him and maybe Ashley Westwood.
Okay.
Burnley. What do you reckon about him?
To be fair, I'll be honest, I don't know much about him.
I think he plays wide left. Obviously, they got Dwight McNeil out there, but I'm sure he plays wide left sometimes. But I think he's been out of favour since McNeil's coming to the team. Don't quote me on that, but I'm not properly for Burnley. But
okay. Yeah, I'll be perfectly honest. I don't pay much attention to Burnley.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know much about him. I'll be honest.
Okay. Right. In terms of a striker, though, obviously we need a striker for next season.
Yes.
We've been linked with a few names already, and funny enough, both of them have been further north than us, obviously in Scotland. First one's Morelos.
Yes.
What's your thoughts on him first?
Yeah, I heard he's got discipline issues. Apparently he's been... I've just heard stories that he's got discipline issues. So that, for me, is an alarm bell. No doubt he's probably a decent player.
Yeah.
But I've heard a few problems. I heard he's got attitude problems. So.
But we like a player. We like a player that's had attitude problems.
Oh
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, I agree.
Is, you know, from Joey Barton to bloody
Yeah,
Mitrovic to, do you know what I mean? We kind of like that sort of lovable rogue sort of
yeah,
guy. I know
yeah,
in
yeah,
in the Rafa era we tried to steer away from that, but it's not like we're not accustomed to it.
yeah. He's decent. I've heard of quite a few teams are interested in him. Apparently, Steven Gerrard doesn't want to lose him. What's the fee? What is it? About 13 mil? He's
I
valued at.
don't know, because I'm hearing crazy fees, and for a player that's playing, I know it sounds disrespectful, but I'm not trying to be disrespectful. For a player that's playing in the Scottish League, I know Van Dijk came from there, so, well, kind of come from there. But I think 30 million, 40 million is a lot for a player that's playing up there. I don't know,
It's a hell of a lot.
it's a big punt, isn't it? It's a big punt.
It's a hell of a lot. It's a hell of a for Rangers to receive that much of a transfer fee. That's probably their whole transfer budget. So they'll jump at the chance to sell him. But to be fair, I don't watch much Scottish football, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
So I don't know much about him. I've just heard he's decent.
And then the other one, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correctly, but you'll know who I mean, is Edouard from Celtic.
Oh, the guy from Celtic.
Now, I can vouch for him in terms of football manager. I signed him, playing alongside Joe Linton, both banging goals in for fun. So if he even shows a tiny bit of that, then boy, I'll be all over him. But
Yeah.
he'll definitely cost a lot as well, because I think Arsenal are even sniffing around him as well. So yeah.
So he's obviously Celtic's first choice, yeah?
He's Celtic's first choice, and he's doing the business for them as well. But obviously, he's got ambitions as well. So I reckon he'll definitely want to come into the Premier League someday.
Yeah.
So again, if it's via us, then so be it. Because I definitely think we need to take a punt in this next window for a striker. I don't think we can go down the free
100%,
transfer route.
100%.
So yeah,
100%. We don't know if we're going to keep. Yeah, like I said, I don't watch much Scottish football, so I don't know much about him. Obviously, there's a lot of leagues that I don't watch, and I've heard about strikers.
Yeah.
But I literally do not watch any Scottish football, so I can't vouch for him at all. I'd have to check him out on YouTube or something.
Yeah,
or
check him
look
out.
on and see what his scoring record is like.
Check him out, because he's a problem, man. He's going to be a problem for the Premier League defences, and it'll surprise me and shock me a lot if he's not in the Premier League by the next time we obviously play in football. But
I've got one for you. What do you think of Sturridge?
Right. So I was one who's calling for Sturridge to be signed by us before we signed Andy Carroll. Well, I was calling for the three. I know this is probably like, I don't know, hospital strike force or whatever, but Welbeck, Sturridge, and Andy Carroll in it. I was saying, let's take one of those three. We obviously ended up with Andy Carroll. He's played a handful of games, but he's been effective. But even in January, when I was saying, look, let's get a striker in, I was saying Sturridge. But obviously then he can't play for 6 months because of his bans and stuff. But even when that's done, I'd say we go in for him. I say we try and secure him, because let's face it, he's not going to go to a top 4 team. He wants to be back in England. That's clear as anything. I think Newcastle will be a very good fit for him as well.
Yeah, I agree. And he's not just a lump you stick up front, although we do need someone up front, a focal point, who can create space for the wide players and players in behind. However, with Sturridge, I'm aware that he's comfortable out wide as well, out left. So even if we started another striker, he could accommodate someone else. Whether he's got the will or not to do the running, whether he's got the attitude to work for the team, that I don't know. He may have lost that bit of hunger, but I know he does have that versatility about him where you can just stick him on the pitch and he'll do a job for you, whether it's out wide.
I don't know about out wide. I think more importantly, he's got a point to prove. Like, let's face it, because again, he obviously left Liverpool not in the best of ways, because again, he was kind of edged out. Let's face it, their strike force is top tier, and he's got to come back into this Premier League, and obviously, he probably has got ambitions to get back in the England team, although that's looking very.
Long gone. That's long gone.
I know it's long gone, but at the same back of his mind, like Danny Rose, I think he's not going to get back into the England team, but it's nice to see someone who's played in the England team at Newcastle United. I think that Sturridge is in the same situation where he needs to go to a team like Newcastle, play week in, week out. And it's the perfect platform for him, really. It's not
Yeah.
like we've got much to lose in that sense. I don't think he can try and command a big wage, but I don't think it's going to be too big out of our wage bracket. But I still think it's the perfect fit for someone like a Newcastle, where we need a striker desperately to love and adore. And I think he needs that. He needs to be that focal point where people are
I
looking to
agree.
him. So
Yeah, I agree. And in terms of the wage, he may not specifically demand that much because look at his injury record. We can debate and say, look, you've missed a lot of games. So, and to be fair, in terms of playing him out wide, I think he's probably way past peak fitness. I remember when he was playing out wide, like supporting Suarez.
yeah,
Obviously,
I think that Sturridge is gone. I think that Sturridge is gone. I think Sturridge is has to adapt his game more now to being that guy in the box. Everyone else around him, like Almirons and Saint-Maximin, have to do the donkey work for him. Get the ball into this guy, and he'll do the rest inside the area. And that's what Joe Linton's missing. Because when he's got the ball in the box, he doesn't know what to do with it. Whereas a Sturridge, I think, would know what to instantly do. He would want.
Sturridge, arguably, he was a better finisher than Harry Kane, people say.
Yeah.
And he definitely hasn't lost his finishing ability. That I know. I remember when he was at loan, before he went to, where did he go on loan? Before he went to Liverpool. Was it Bolton?
Bolton.
Was he on loan at Bolton? He's done a job everywhere he's gone, basically.
Yeah. Because even in Turkey for Trabzonspor, I think he was like 3 and 6, maybe. I don't know the correct
All
figure,
right.
It was decent. Obviously, it wasn't amazing, but it was decent. So it's nice to show he's still got it. I just think he needs that platform just to show that he can do it again in the Premier League, and I truly believe he can. And plus, he's at the right age now. He should be coming to his peak now. He's like late 20s now. So
yeah, I think I'm sure by now he's 29, going on 30. So yeah, it will be a good move for him. To be fair, it'll be a good move. You never know. They say Kane is past it, not past it, but injuries are catching up with him. Jamie Vardy's retired. Rashford isn't proving to be the answer in terms of a centre forward. So you never know. He's got international experience. It could be a chance for him to think, you know what, I could have a shout to get back into Southgate's thinking. So yeah, I agree. Newcastle could be a platform for him. But
right. Before you go, let's get into what have you been watching? Because the only thing that I've been watching is A, Tiger King, but B, most importantly, is Sunderland Till I Die. Now, obviously, no, I'm not. Obviously, I'm not a Sunderland fan, but from a Newcastle fan's point of view, this is hilarious. It's well put together. The fact is, season 1 was amazing, but season 2 is even better, I think. And there's just the fact that it just shows you everything behind the scenes. It's just crazy, bro. Because even
tell me about it, man.
So obviously they're going into League One. The new board have come in. Is it Stuart Donald and what's the funny guy's name? Chris Methin. This guy looks like he seems like David Brent from The Office. The way he goes on, like there's some scenes that have been put online that have just gone viral just because this guy's such a character. He tries to change like the music from the PA system. He's basically in charge of like the whole marketing and PR of Sunderland.
Yeah.
There's that bit, but the main kind of hooks of season 2 is the whole Josh Marja situation where he ends up going to Bordeaux for like 1.5 million, and they bring in Will Grigg for £4 million. That's the first one, and then obviously the second bits are really like the cup finals that they go to. They went to Wembley twice, which obviously they can hold over us, but they lost both of them in the playoffs and the Checker trade. Now, for someone who's not watched it, obviously, I just want to dissect it with you. Like, let me talk to you about the Josh Marja situation. I don't know if you're aware of him. Do you know who he is? Who he was? I don't know if you watched, League One football, all the rest of it. Sound a bit snobbish here, but yeah. Do you know about Josh Marja at all?
Yeah.
Hello? Yeah?
No, I don't.
Sorry, your internet's cracking up, bro. What's going on? Yo? Oh, gosh. mention Sunderland Till I Die, and then it happens. Right. So I'll wait for Seb to get back in whilst I'll talk about that. Josh Marger's situation. Hopefully you're listening. Oh, no, he's gone. Oh, he's back.
Yeah, don't know
Oh,
what happened there.
oh, man, the internet was playing up. Right. So we was talking about, obviously, Sunderland Till I Die. Talking about the Josh Marger situation. I don't know, was you aware of it at all? So obviously he was a youth player from Sunderland. He was just basically thrown into the deep end and just said, look, here, you playing up front. Ended up banging him loads of goals. The contract situation wasn't settled from the previous year. So it got to January time. And obviously when it comes to January and you're in your last year of your contract, you can start negotiating. All throughout, like, I think it was episode 2 or 3, he kept saying, yeah, my agent's sorting out. Duh, duh. And this Stuart Donald character, the chairman or whatever, he was just basically pooping his pants like, we better sign him. And then Waldo just come in and just obviously offered loads of money, and the agent just swayed that way. And they ended up with Will Grigg. Now, obviously, we know who Will Grigg is. Obviously, Wigan, Will Grigg's on fire and the rest of it. The whole transfer deadline day scenario is hilarious because first it starts off at £1 million. Then it's, rejected. 1.5, last offer, definitely last offer. Rejected. 2 million, 3 million, ends up with £4 million. £4 million from Will Grigg. Yes, for big old, well, not, he's not even big old, but small old Will Grigg. And then he's not doing the business. Yeah, I mean, obviously, as Newcastle fans, we can't really talk. We've been blown out the water for players that are definitely not worth their transfer fee. But I don't know. It's just good to watch from another point of view, like how things can operate, especially in those tight situations where you've got. Well, they thought they had to get someone in. But yeah, man, what's your thoughts on that, man? Just that whole situation.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's Sunderland, isn't it? So we're laughing at them, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, they look like they're a distance away from the Championship. They're at the bottom of League One.
Well, I don't even know where they are now. At the time, obviously when Marger was there, at the time they was like, I think second or whatever. And then they dropped a little bit when he left and they fell into the playoff situation. They hoped to get Grigg to kind of bang in the goals. But I know hindsight's a wonderful thing and all the rest of it. But they might as well have just kept Marger to the end of the season and just lost him for, I think they would have got like 500k because obviously he came through the Franks and stuff. But they ended up selling him for 1.5. So they only made $1 million more. And that, keeping him for an extra 6 months, they could have gone into the Championship. So I don't know.
And they paid $4 million for someone who's not doing it.
Yeah. That's
I heard that, I don't know if I'm right, but I'm sure I saw an article on Sky Sports out the other day that Sunderland have furloughed their whole staff, including the players.
You know what? That wouldn't even surprise me, bro.
I think it's them, I'm going to check on the Sky Sports app. I'm sure I saw that.
I mean, we can't talk too much about that because, look at Ashley.
Players apparently have been furloughed too.
Well, if you listen to that Sunderland Till I Die, the guy kept bringing up saying, look, basically the wage bill was crazy. Like that season that they went from the Championship to League One, they had to get rid of loads of players. Jack Rodwell being one of them. Obviously, he was on reported 80k. And even still, even if they did stay in the League One again, which obviously they are, I think it was on like their wage was like 14 million, where everyone else is like 8 or something like that. So there's like a massive gap in between what they're paying compared to everyone else. It's just nuts.
Yeah.
But
Damn.
yeah,
that's crazy.
And then obviously then the 2 Wembley appearances, they lost to Charlton obviously in the playoff finals, and they lost to Portsmouth in the Checker Trade. Oh man. That's nuts, bro. But yeah, definitely need to watch it, man. Need to watch it, bro.
Yeah, no, I'll check that out, man. Check that out. And what do you think is the mentality of the players? What kind of effect do you think this is having on them?
It's
the whole, like, not knowing when you're going to play football again, having to stay fit. It's nuts, isn't it?
Yeah, because I was just thinking that from that point of view. Like, obviously, you see little bits and pieces of what players put up. Like, they're training at home. They've obviously got their own gyms at home, but they're probably obviously thinking about other things like, am I going to be able to pay my mortgage, or am I going to be able to take care of the kids? Because obviously we always think about these players as multi-millionaires, but obviously they're living within their means, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? They've bought a big house because they could afford it if they're playing week in, week out.
Yes.
But if they're not paying week in, week out, and there's talks of being furloughed and 80% of your wage and all the rest of it, then what's going to happen to all of these lot? Do you know what I mean? And I didn't really like the way that all of these politicians are putting pressure on, the footballers must, they need to contribute more. Like, hold on, I'm sure there's more millionaires in the UK, let alone the world, than just footballers. Do you know what I mean? There's millionaire bankers, there's millionaire businessmen, there's millionaire this, that, and the rest of it. Why are you not putting pressure on these guys? Why is it just footballers? Just because they kick a ball around? Like, why is it their fault? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think I remember hearing on TV that anyone who's on over 200k doesn't qualify for furlough, because if you're earning more than 200k a year, then you should have enough savings. So it's not just footballers who are being targeted.
Yeah, but it just feels like even with all these politicians, like, is it that Hancock guy, Matt Hancock, he kept saying, these footballers should be contributing more, and how dare these clubs, furlough when these guys can afford it and the rest of it. I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, they're getting paid well. It's not their fault. They just get paid well. But what about everyone else? Do you know what I mean? If we're going to keep this energy for these guys, why not do it for these guys as well? So I don't know. I think they're more concerned about that than keeping fit, because obviously they know they need to keep fit to get back into the team when everything goes back to normal. But they probably just need to worry about their families at home straight away. So that's how I feel about that one. But the main one, no, I was going to say the main one is probably just, when they're going to get started, really. Like, that's probably what they're thinking about. Like, when is this finally going to come to an end? Because there's rumours it might start, but it might be behind closed doors, or it might start in May, or the whole season might be null and void and we start again. Obviously, Liverpool fans will be pissed at that, but teams at the bottom.
What's the reality? That they've already declared the season will be finished, though. That's not going to happen, is it?
I don't know, man. Because again, like, you've seen, what was that league that gave the league to
Belgian league?
That was it, yeah. Like, because there was 12 points clear or something like that, or 20 odd points clear or something like that.
I remember.
One of the two. So they gave them that. But what happens to the teams that are in the relegation zone? Do they get relegated or?
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm going to find out, actually. I'm going to read the article.
Yeah, because I know obviously they did it to non-league and grassroots teams and the women's leagues and stuff like that. But what about Premier League? Because this is a lot of money at stake. Even like where teams are now, there's a whole difference between someone finishing 5th, for example, and how much they get compared to where we are and getting what we get.
Exactly. Yeah, it's nuts, man. And as I said, the whole situation, like we talked about last week, with player contracts, what's going on, like, in terms of what if you're out of contract, like, what's going to happen?
Yeah. And when are we going to sign Lallana? You know what I'm saying? When are we going to get Lallana and who was the other one that you wanted as well? Yeah, exactly. And Ryan Fraser, yeah.
Yeah, Lallana won't come to us. Him and Mickey, they play the same position, and neither of them will want to play out wide. If Lallana comes here, he would expect to play in his best position, and we already know Mickey is a willing runner, but he's way less effective out wide. Even if he can do a job, he will put the running in, but it's not his game.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's a long way away anyway. Hopefully there'll be a time soon that we can start actually debating this and actually seeing it come to fruition, because at the moment everyone's just chilling at home, just waiting for the go-ahead, aren't they? So
yeah, who knows? Apparently the lockdown's meant to... Are we coming up to 3 weeks this Monday coming up?
Easily, it's got to be 3 weeks. I don't know, I feel like I've lost count, but
it's going to... Because Boris announced it on a Monday, but obviously because he's now in intensive care, it won't be him to deliver it. But exactly, in terms of, it's very likely to get extended. Am I right in saying 900 people died today in the UK?
Yeah, and the numbers keep going up as well. So I don't know.
So 900 people died today. So it's very likely that this 3 weeks will get extended by longer.
Yeah.
Who knows how much longer?
I think it will. I think it will be at least till the end of May before we actually see anything. But that's just me.
End of May?
Yeah.
Wow, that's like a good 7 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, but to be fair, it's for the best, man. Stay at home, save lives, everyone. Anyone who watches this, stay at home, save lives, man.
There you go. We'll end it on that one because I know obviously you've got places to be as well, man. Thanks for joining me as always, bro.
Yeah, but hopefully, what I'll do, I'll check out some articles and I'll come forward with some discussion points next time. Yeah.
Cool, man. Hopefully we might get some more
Awesome,
people
bro.
on as well for next time as well.
Yeah, bro.
All right,
Yeah,
man.
bro.
Take
Have a
care,
good
bro.
evening, man.
And you.
In a bit.
Bye.